Hey, this is Chantal from Moto Endurance. Come spend the day with us.
When you come back for the next one, purposely get on the slick and we'll go, because we're going to go back to this will be your last one with your eyes closed. And I like it because even though it's doing this, you're not steering with your arms, you're doing it with your core. Good job. Let the bike load up a little bit and then let it drop. Good work, Parker. Imagine you're at a big race. Don't just do it. Make it work. Make it count. That was just outright beautiful right there, man. Now what I want you to do is go into these last three, just go into that first turn like you're trying to park somebody. Not that you're being a dirty rider, but just want it more than they do. A little extra throttle, on the brakes hard, on the gas hard. My goal is to try to get, we're going to try to get 3 2s and 2 4s out of it is what we want to do. This first one's actually going to be a 4-lap sprint. So what I want to do is just based on the conditions of today, just trying to get some average lap times so we can start putting some pacing charts together. All right. You have your heart rate monitor on by chance?
I got the watch and the battery set on.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I talked to him, but he didn't have his.
Okay.
But I'll just go to the store and get mine.
You look very smooth. Look like you were just holding your own all the way around, carrying your momentum everywhere. You never look like you're rushing the bike at all. Yeah, your setup and transitions, you know, from being on the gas to into the corner and back on, I mean, just spot on. I mean, there's just nothing else you could really do with that. Ready? Go. 30 seconds. Try not to let it bottom out. Puff, really relax your arms. Put all the weight on your leg. Put all the weight on your leg. There you go. There you go, one, good. All legs. 15 seconds. Good stuff. Keep it going now, guys. All right, go ahead and get seated. Hold that cadence up. Watch the chain. Keep the tension of the chain tight. You got 3.5 minute moto here. Let's see what you can do with it. It's yours for the taking. So when you come through that bottom, just put flat, pulling back. Flat, pull back. There you go. Good. And if you're not feeling the hamstrings, then you know you're doing it wrong. The last set. Remember what Ricky says, all the hard work during the week makes the weekend fun. Minute and a half. Excellent job. I'm not seeing the chain slap as much this interval. Good stuff. Shoulders are squared off, the bottom leg is pointed forward so that the hips are squared. And then what you're going to want to do is just stretch going straight down. The key is making sure that the knee stays locked out. If you have to lock the knees out and you can only get to right here, that's as far as you need to go. Okay? Sometimes you'll feel it grab at the base of the knee, up underneath your bottom. All right? Hold that for 3 to 5 seconds and then come back up to neutral, which is straight up, and then kick the leg out to the inside or the outside. Either tilt it in or tilt it out, either way. That keeps your chest flat on the ground, and it's going to stretch the lower back is what you're after. If you're heavily muscled, like in Tyler's instance from having a lot of weightlifting background, you're not going to find that these want to go very far. Don't try to push it, because the way the legs are putting enough stretch on the lower back. You have somebody like Warren who can get his legs all the way on the ground. Pup's got his down as well. Now, if you are laying and you've got your shoulders what we call in a T format, where these are down, what you want to then do is keep your knees pressed and rotate your stomach like you're trying to go to the ground, keeping your shoulders, and that's going to add a little bit more stress to the lower back and stretch that out. Take a couple deep breaths, 3 to 5 seconds, and then just switch sides. Now, one of the things that you want to do when you bring your legs over the other direction is you want to make sure that you don't let the shoulders come up, because the idea, as you're looking at it from an athletic standpoint, you're always looking at the spine, and you've got muscles on either side of the spine that you're trying to get to stretch out. So if the shoulders all of a sudden come off the ground, then his whole body comes up. That's no longer a stretch. And if you do it properly, you'll feel whether or not you're getting a stretch in the appropriate muscles or not. One thing that always comes up, a question that's asked a lot of times is, well, you're telling me I'm supposed to feel it in my lower back, and I'm feeling it in between my shoulder blades or in my chest. Well, that just tells you that these are tighter than this. It doesn't mean you're doing it incorrectly. It tells me you need to focus on the other areas. If your lower back you're trying to stretch is not getting hit before your shoulders, spend more time stretching your shoulders, because that's where you've got a future injury coming up. From there, we'll go into, we'll do inner thighs, bring the soles of your feet together and let your legs butterfly out. And this is a good illustration here, as you can see with all three guys. You've got Warren, who's Gumby. You've got Tyler, who's got huge muscles, and then you've got Pup that's a mixture of the two. Now, not that there's anything wrong with this, but you can see how Pup's lower back is completely curved over for him to be able to get into that position. So if we sit him up, straight up, sit straight up for me. All right, that's really what the range of motion needs to look like. And then you can see what it does to Pup's knees. It brings him straight to the sky, where you've got Warren straight back and his knees are halfway down to the ground. Your goal is to be able to get these legs to where they touch on the ground here. And if you want to see a good illustration of that, just go get a brand new baby and go to change their diaper, and you lay them on their back and their feet will just completely plop out because they haven't built the muscles up inside here. This right here goes back to the original stretch that we did on the motorcycle. This right here is an injury waiting to happen. If you start palpating in there, you can see how tight those muscle tissues are. When his knees are almost pointing straight up like that, all it's going to take is one good dab, and especially if you get on a bigger bike, 450, double the speed, double the impact. That right there is a blown out groin sometime soon. So it's not that you look at it negatively. What you realize is you've got to make sure you address the biggest problem areas, and you do that by self-assessment. It's not picking on yourself, but like when Warren was laying down, if he can't get his legs to 90 degrees, they're way down here at 30 or 40, you got a hamstring issue, which then is going to relate to a lower back issue, which is then going to go up into your shoulders and your back eventually. So that's what we want to avoid. In regards to stretching the calves, there's a lot of different schools of thought. One way that I find is very effective is just doing the gas pedal drill, where one pushes and one pulls. It stretches tibialis anterior on the front, and it also stretches gastrocs on the back. Sometimes people like to get up and stretch them this way. There's some schools of thought that maybe the pressure is a little bit too high. I'll leave that up to the individual athlete depending on how tight their calves are.